Hello and welcome to another episode of Gear Toward Gear. My name's Sean and I'm so glad you're here. I'm really excited about this one. This is kind of an impromptu improv video that I wasn't planning on doing, but my parents are in town visiting me and my wife and their grandchild, and my dad brought some of his knives with him. And I've mentioned my dad on a few previous videos, so he brought his little knife kit here to show me a few, and I was really surprised when I actually opened this for the first time. As I mentioned in the past, my dad and I are very close. He's one of my best buds. He's sitting right next to me, so he'll be my guest on this episode. So, Dad, say hi to YouTube.
Hey, everyone. Hi.
So, my dad brought some knives, and typically, if I get a new knife or he gets one, we'll text message pictures and videos. But when I opened this, I saw several knives, like nice ones that I had no idea he had. So I was like, Dad, you're holding out on me here. So I just wanted to share kind of a little quick show and tell with my dad and some of his knives that he brought. So let's start with the two that are just kind of laying out here. So over here we have a Hitch and Timber. I think it's called is it the Runt? Mm-hmm. I think, Dad. Mm-hmm. Yes. And this was a birthday gift from me to you. And if you've ever looked at Hitch and Timber stuff, this is the Crazy Horse pattern of leather. So if you're wondering what that looks like in person and after some wear, that is Crazy Horse. And what do you got in here? You got is this a Cadet?
Cadet.
And then this is, I think, did I give this to you?
Yes, you did.
That's the Phoenix 15th anniversary flashlight. And those both fit really nice.
Yeah, love it. Love everything about it.
Good deal. So the Hitch and Timber Runt 2.0 maybe, I think is what it's called. And then he's also got, and I happen to be carrying it today as well, it's in my pocket, the Pioneer X in red. I think these were, was it Knife Center? Mm-hmm. That's where these came from. My dad rocks I think this is made by Tech Accessories, these little suspension clips. So he's rocking that as well. So two very cool EDC items that he carries and uses quite a bit.
And you recall that when I got this new Swiss Army knife, I didn't know that you had one. We haven't talked about that.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's some knives in here as well that you'll see that he owns that I also own. And in several cases, it was kind of a coincidence. He ordered this knife before I even told him that I owned one and before I did the video. So obviously we are related and have some similar tastes. So I'll get those out of the way. And let's talk about what's in this case here. So on the front, we've got a multi-tool. And I think I've shown or maybe talked about mine in the past. It's a Leatherman Wingman. So classic, budget-friendly multi-tool. So nothing wrong with that. Love seeing that. And then this I really like because I'm a big fan of slip joints. However, this one's interesting because it's not actually a slip joint. It's a, if I can get it out, kind of a classic sodbuster pattern. This one from Boker, but it actually locks. So it's got a lockback sodbuster pattern, but a locking blade, and that's again from Boker. So I thought that was pretty neat. I hadn't seen that particular model before, so I thought that was pretty neat, Dad. So that's everything on the outside. So let's get to the inside. And this is where it kind of got surprising for me because I had not seen several of these and they're really nice knives. And now I want some of them for myself. So I've kind of added to my wish list. But before I open this, I want a quick kind of improv without any preparation. Ask my dad, what was the very first knife you ever owned in your life?
Well, it was a long time ago, 1962. I was 6 years old. This was for the you younger folks, shortly after the wheel was invented. And in the old Bazooka bubblegum packets, they used to have coupons, and you could order things. And I saw this knife that you could order with a certain number of proof of purchase coupons. Parents helped me put it in the mail with a couple of dollars, and after a while, what I thought was the best knife in the world arrived. It was blue plastic handles. It probably wasn't worth more than $5, but I was stunned in awe. I loved it. And the first thing I did the next day after my dad showed me how to open and close it safely, I took it to first grade, gave it to my teacher to hold, and I got to show my whole class in show and tell my new knife, and I was thrilled.
That's fantastic. So 6 years old, and you bought me my first knife, which I've shown on this channel when I was 7. So yeah. I got mine a year later than you did. But the fact that you could take it to school and show and tell obviously shows us that times have certainly changed.
Yes.
But that's
Yeah,
fantastic. I had never heard that story until
the
just
SWAT
this
team
moment.
wasn't called on me.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Because you eventually became the SWAT team, but that's a whole nother video.
Yeah.
So here's kind of the little knife roll he brought. And this is not everything he owns. And I'm also going to add something real quick. Once I'm done kind of quickly showing you some of these knives, he actually brought some knives up here that he's donating to the upcoming giveaway. That's super, super generous. So I'm not going to show you all the knives exactly what they are, but I'm going to show you all the boxes. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 knives that he brought from his collection that he just doesn't use as much anymore, that he is donating to the upcoming giveaway, which is crazy generous. So we'll touch on that at the very end, but let's just quickly look at what is in the case here that he brought. Again, this is not his full collection, but let's start over here on the right side. Classic, you guys know I love these, the K-Bar Dozier. This is the red handle that they just recently released, and my dad did what I do, and he swapped out a stainless or satin blade in his Dozier. So he did some disassembly action there, put the stainless blade in, and I think it looks great.
Yeah, love Doziers.
So K-Bar Dozier, can't go wrong for 20 bucks. One of the best $20 knives in my opinion. Then we've got a classic, the Spyderco Centofonte. I hadn't seen one of these in years. When I opened this, I was like, holy shit. And I apologize for the language, but I had not seen a Centofonte in so long. This is a VG10 steel, a classic design. There's been a number of iterations of this knife from Spyderco, but I just thought that was super cool. I had no idea you had this. So love the Centofonte.
Yeah.
Then here we've got a SOG Spec Elite Auto, which I also had no idea you had. And this thing comes out with some authority. I mean, it's one of the more snappy autos that I've handled recently. I think it's AUS-8 steel. It does have a little safety on the back. You know, SOG likes to billboard and brand the hell out of all their stuff, which isn't my personal preference, but that blue color on that aluminum is pretty darn sexy. So very cool. Again, had no idea you had that. So you must just be buying up knives in secret and not telling me about it.
Yeah, it's a midnight thing.
Yeah, it always happens late at night. So back here we've got a few Kershaw leaks. I also kind of have a small collection of Kershaw leaks. So I'll pull each one out and just quickly show you. So this one is, I don't know that I'd ever seen this one. I imagine it might have been an exclusive, but it's all brown. It may look black, but it's a very dark brown colored handle as well as blade. And I think all of these examples are going to be in the Sandvik 14 C28 steel, but a very good looking, unique color. And this one is a frame lock.
Yeah.
So there's one Kershaw leak. Here's another. And this is a liner lock. This one, I want to say, did you get this from Knife Center? Or
No,
I want to say this is
Blade HQ.
Yeah, I want to say it was an exclusive, the red aluminum with the black blade. I could be wrong. USA made, Ken Onion design. The leaks are classic. So there's another example. Again, that one's a liner lock. And then here we've got a blue handle with a black blade. I think this one might be locked.
Oh, yeah,
so this one does
yeah.
have the lock on it. See if I can disengage that. There we go. Wait, maybe I just locked it. This is truly an improv video, guys. So I apologize for any delays in programming. I may be doing something wrong here. It's blue and it has a black blade. Let's just say that.
It's just a
Kershaw
paperweight.
leak.
It's a paperweight. There's really not a blade in
I'm
there.
probably
folks.
doing something wrong. Anyway, another Kershaw leak. So there's one more Kershaw leak, and it's in this little case here. And this one is really badass. It's not a Leatherman, obviously. It's a Kershaw leak. And this is the one with the inlaid, is it abalone, Dad? And just a really smooth polish. I don't even know what that black material is. Some sort of an acrylic, possibly. But, I mean, it is super glossy, super, super classy. And it's got an etch in here that says Santa Fe Stoneworks.
Yes, that's their design.
Okay, so it was like an exclusive by them. I feel like I had seen this maybe on a dealer website, like the actual design of the handle, but I hadn't ever handled one. And it's just, I mean, that's a true like gentleman's knife. That's incredibly good looking. So some Kershaw leaks. So nothing wrong with that at all. Like I said, I've got a small collection of leaks myself. So let's move on to the left side of the bag. And you're going to see a couple knives that may be familiar from the channel, but first and foremost, we've got a Gerber fastball, and this one's in the gray, what they call gray. And looking at it, I don't know, Dad. I'd call that like a silver gray.
Yes,
It's
yes.
definitely not dark gray, right?
Right.
It's the color that's picking up on camera. I think looks a little darker than it is in person, but it's not a bad looking color by any means. It's S30V, made in the USA. I did a review on this. Great, strong detent. So, good deal on that. I had no idea you had this one either.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you buy it because of my video? You don't have to lie. You can be honest.
Yes, and I buy all my knives because of your videos. Actually, yeah, I saw your video, and then I was interested, and then I saw a reduced price on this one that happened to be that color.
Nice.
So I just wanted the action, so I just got it.
Good deal. Yeah, and if you can get a deal on it, then nothing wrong with that. This one, I have not posted yet, but I actually have filmed a full review on this exact knife, or at least this model. It's the Manix 2 from Spyderco. And this one, my dad went all out and got the S10V version. It's got the ball bearing lock in a kind of a dark blue FRN handle. Good knife. My review is mostly positive, but a made in the USA Manix 2 in S110V. So again, I was kind of surprised to see this because I'm thinking, man, Dad's taste is definitely getting higher and higher in the knife game. So I was impressed. I was proud as a son to see this knife in your pouch. So very cool on the Manix 2. Where do you remember where you got that one?
I got that from Blade HQ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I saw some Benchmades, and this is when I really was kind of like, man, Dad, you were stepping up your game, and you were putting me to shame at this point. So we'll start over here on the left. You've got a Mini Freak. This is the model 565. It's S30V, I believe. Yep, S30V Mini Freak. Good size. I feel like this is probably about the size of a mini Griptilian. And what I like about this, having not handled one, is the kind of rubberized texture here with the harder plastic inlay. Crazy comfortable. Crazy comfortable.
That is currently my favorite knife.
Is it really?
For that reason, the
Okay.
action of it, the size, and the grip but comfort of the handle.
It is extremely comfortable. I'd heard some people in different videos complain about getting it in and out of the pocket with kind of the rubber, and I, before filming this, stuck these two knives in and out of my pocket several times. Didn't have any issues, but that is the Benchmade Mini Freak. So very cool that you've got a couple of Benchmades going on. We'll move on to this one. This is the Grizzly Ridge from Benchmade. This is the model 15061, also in S30V steel, if I can get a good focus there. And this is a cool looking knife. I like the gray. I mean, I like gray colorations to begin with, but the orange accent, especially for kind of a hunting style knife, it's got that little bit of a recurve on the blade. And if you compare the stock on the Grizzly Ridge to the Mini Freak, it is a much thicker blade stock. Sorry for the little camera bump there. And then you've got this jimping up here, towards the tip. So any of you hunters out there understand kind of that grip there for skinning and things like that. But again, crazy comfortable. I mean, that rubber texture is very pleasing in the hand. So I may need to look at getting I don't know, maybe I'll get a Mini Freak. I don't know that I would use this knife for its intended purpose, and it's a little big maybe for me, but the Mini Freak I'm digging quite a bit. So both really cool knives. What actually let's go to the last Benchmade, and then maybe I'll ask you a couple more questions. So one more Benchmade, and this is the Mini Barrage. This is the model 580BK, I believe. And this is going to be the Axis Assist mechanism, so it's spring assisted. Using that Axis lock, it is all blacked out. There's a little bit of usage marks there, so my dad does use his knives as tools. 154 cm, Osborne design. Very cool knife. And you got this just a couple days ago.
A couple days ago, it has an interesting lock on the handle.
Yeah, it's kind of on the spine here. There's a little tab that you can
Just
push
forward,
and you're in the locked position, right? So it's not gonna come out. Some people will like that, some won't. It's all preference, and it's all good if you don't. But that is a feature there. You can just slide that down, and you've got an assisted Mini Barrage. So again, blacked out, you guys know, is not necessarily my personal style, but the design of the knife and the size for me is good. Again, probably about the size of a mini Griptilian, if I had to guess. And very similar in size to the Mini Freak as well. So you're rocking a few new and very badass Benchmades. So good on you.
Thank you, son.
Yeah.
Enjoying it.
And then just a couple more in the back. And again, this is where we both bought the same knife. Didn't really know about it, but he also has the CRKT Caligo in D2 steel, which I just reviewed. This was the Blade HQ exclusive version. And I did check the detent on this example from my dad is the same as mine. It's pretty weak.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned in that video, I don't prefer it, but for basic EDC, it's probably not going to come loose in your pocket. So it is what it is. But yeah, CRKT Caligo in D2. And then I'm guessing you probably bought this one on my recommendation, or you're just that cool. And that is the Kubi Eris model 716, I want to say. And this is the satin version with the blue anodized pocket clip and backspacer D2 steel. I've done a review on this, so that was cool to see in your collection also.
Yeah.
And then lastly, obviously you're doing a little bit of work as far as just kind of tightening up things and touching up pivots and things like that. Kershaw branded kind of bit holder and driver kit. So, I mean, let me get some of these other knives back in the frame here. A pretty respectable, not pretty, a very respectable collection by Dad over here. And I just thought it was really cool that he had some of these knives, some that I own and love, some that, you know, he bought on my recommendation, and others that he obviously has his own taste and knows what he likes. And again, I've mentioned this before, but it's a hobby that we both share. But I will say, and Dad, correct me if I'm wrong, would you say that you're a knife collector? Because I would say that I'm a knife collector.
I think you're a true collector, as are many of your subscribers. You have a lot more knives. You know so much more like they do. I'm learning a lot. I think I'm somewhere between an aficionado and a collector.
Yeah, but you're a user, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Like none of these sit around and don't get used.
No,
like you're not afraid to use a $150 knife.
Oh yeah,
right?
That's my yes. Why have a knife unless you're going to use it? Unless you specifically want one for display, and I get that too. But yeah, usually what I do is every day I just pick one, and I carry it for that day, and then the next day
that's so cool.
Pick another one.
Yeah, so an awesome kind of array and wide spectrum from a $20, Dozier to a, $150+ Barrage and Grizzly Ridge and some of these others. Just a really cool assortment. So I mentioned some giveaway stuff. I've been talking about the giveaway video for a while, and by the time this video posts, we'll probably be just a few days away from posting the giveaway video. I've mentioned I've got tons of stuff to give away, and my dad was gracious enough when he came up here to bring a few things that were part of his collection that he just doesn't use very often and wanted to donate to the giveaway. So they're all gently used, and I'm gonna kind of touch them all up, make sure the blades are clean, and maybe strop them. There will be some use marks on them, but these are straight from my dad and straight from his collection. And again, super generous. So the first one is going to be a Opinel number 6. This is in walnut. Beautiful knives. I just did a video on the one that Stuart sent me, the number 9. Thank you again, Stuart, for that. So we've got the Opinel. Then we've got a brand new, basically unused, budget-friendly Ozark Trail brand multi-tool. So that'll go to somebody in the giveaway. We have not one, but 2 K-Bar Dozier folding hunters. I'm not going to tell you what color or anything like that, but again, gently used. And again, I'll make sure everything's touched up and kind of dialed in as best as I can before I send them out. But 2 K-Bar Dozier folding hunters being donated by my dad, which is super cool. There's the Opinel there, the Ozark Trail multi-tool. Then we've got a Boker brand. Now, this is not actually it is the box this came in.
I believe so.
Because it's molded to fit it. It's let me take it off camera real quick so I don't give it away. It's a Boker Magnum product. It says Boker Plus on the box, but it's a Boker Magnum line product, and this one happens to be an automatic. So depending on who wins, whether it's legal or not, we'll see about that. But again, super generous, and this is very lightly used, if at all, right?
Yeah, it hasn't been used at all.
Okay, so brand new, essentially.
Brand new.
The box has been opened, but it's brand new.
Brand new.
And then we've got a steel will. And this one is also very gently used. I mean, it looks basically brand new. And I'll just tell you, it's one that I've already reviewed, and I've only reviewed one steel wheel. So it's the Cut Jack, and this one is blue. So 2 Dozers, a Cut Jack, a Boker Magnum automatic, a multi-tool, and an Opinel number 6 in walnut. So some incredibly generous donations from my dad to the giveaway. So thank you, Dad, for that. That's incredible of you.
My pleasure.
So the stack and pile of things to be given away is growing, thanks to my dad and actually some other viewers who have sent things that'll kind of be re-gifted. So stay tuned for that. Thanks again, Dad, for sitting with me and doing this video. It's been fun getting to share your collection with the viewers. So guys, be nice in the comments. Give my dad some props on his collection. And if there's anything, based on what you see here, if you can kind of judge his taste, if there's anything that you would recommend for my dad for his collection that you think he should take a look at or consider adding to his collection, put that down in the comments.
Yes, appreciate that.
But anyway, that's all we got for this evening. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I appreciate it. I know my dad does as well.
Yes.
And we will talk to you soon. Take care. All right, we're back. For those of you that stuck around to the very end, I missed one knife and another item that I just found in here that I didn't see when I first opened this, which I think is interesting, and I just want to share. So the one knife that I missed is the Spyderco Chaparral, and this one is gorgeous. This is in the, it's like a brass and bronze inlaid into a resin for the handle material. It's just drop dead gorgeous. It's a backlock with my favorite of all time, Spyderco clip. It's in XHP, I want to say, CTS XHP steel. Just a beautiful knife, perfect size for me. You guys know I like the smaller stuff, so that's the one knife that I forgot to show. So I want to make sure to show that because I think it's pretty handsome. I may have to get one for myself. And the last thing I saw hiding back here, which I like and I respect, and I keep lying around myself, the good old Constitution of the United States of America. So
Gotta remember where it came from.
Absolutely. So that's it, guys. Thanks again for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.